Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through some of the problems on the 11E assignment. Okay, number one here starts with Arthur catches the train to school from a suburban train station. Over the course of 30 days, he counts the number of people waiting at the station when the train arrives. So that's all the numbers that he counted. Okay, construct a tally and frequency table for this data using intervals 0 to 9, 10 to 19, all the way up to 40 to 49. Okay, so that is going to look like this here. And again, you don't want to count, we don't want to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would, the range of data here is way too great. So that's why they're saying we're going to use these intervals instead. Okay, so 0 to 9, 10 to, since it is their whole numbers, we can go 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, because there's nothing that's going to fit in between 9 and 10, right? So, and let's see, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. Okay, so again, we can do this because it's not continuous, it's discrete. If it's a discrete value, we know that there's no numbers between 9 and 10. Okay, so here's our intervals that we're going to look at, and then now we're simply going to go through and tally like we did before. So we'll cross off 17, that's right here in the 10 through 19. Cross off 25, that's in here. I like to go through and cross them off to make sure that I cover all of them. Okay, so I'm going to go through and do that really quick. Okay, so it ends up looking like this here. So we've got 2 here, so our frequency is 2, 6, 11, 7, and 4. And then what we're going to want to do is find out the total here. So 2 plus 6 is 8, 18, 19, plus another 11 is going to be what, 40 total people. Excuse me, 30 total people. All right, and then now we're going to figure out our relative frequency. So this is going to be 2 out of the 30, 6 out of the 30, 11 out of 30, 7 out of 30, and 4 out of 30. Okay, so we'll go through and calculate what all of those are. Oops, let's see. Let's not use that one. Let's use our scientific one. That's just a little simpler. Either one doesn't matter. All right, so 2 divided by 30 gives us 0.067, we'll call it. Okay, and I'll go through and calculate the rest. Okay, so here's what we end up for all those relative frequencies there. Okay, so we did that below here. On how many days were there less than 10 people at the station? So that would be this 2 here, right? Okay, and then on how many days, sorry, on what percentage of days were there at least 30 people? So that would be 30 or more, so that's going to be our 7 plus 4 is 11 divided by 30, which we actually figured out up here is 36.7%. What percentage? 36.7%, okay. And then on what, sorry, let's see, draw a column graph of the data. All right, we can do that. And let's see. Okay, so here's what our column graph can look like here. And we'll go 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, so forth and so on. So from 0 to 9 here. Okay, so really, since it's not going all the way up to 10, so we'll go 0 to 9. We'll say, let's start about right there, and that is, what, 2 people, right? So we go up here to about 2, and then go over like that. So there were 2 on that one, and then there are 6 from 10 to 20. So really what you want to do is make a little bit of a break here. Oops, let's make this look a little prettier. Make a little bit of a break, go up to 6, go over to about 20 here. So that was 6, and then we do that for the rest of these. So then for this next one, it's 11 Make a little bit of a break there just to show that it's not continuous data. All right, and there's our 11. And we keep doing the same thing. So now 7 is going to be right here. Oops. Here's our 7. And then 4 for the last one, right? And there is our column graph. Okay, so below. Oops. And then find the modal class of the data. That is 20 to 29 is the one that happens most often. Okay? All right, let's take a look at another one here. All right, number 3, City Council is interested in the number of houses in each street of a suburb because it intends to place collection bins for unwanted clothing. They find this data here. Construct a frequency table for this data using intervals 0 to 9, 10 to 19, all the way up to 50 through 59. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so it looks something like this. So then we're going to tally them up. 42 fits in here. 15 fits in here. And we're going to do that throughout all the rest of these here. I'm going to do that really quick here. Okay, so here's all of our tallies here. And then we can just simply write down the frequency here. So that's 5, 8, 8, 14, 4, and 1. And then if we add those all up, we get a total of 40. Okay, so construct a frequency table. We did that. Draw a column graph to display the data. So let's do that too. All right. Here it can be a little column graph here, and then we're going to want to make sure we put our scales on here, right? So let's see, let's make this work. Okay, so here's a little bit bigger graph that'll fit all of our data a little bit better. So frequency, number of houses, again, always give it a consistent scale on both the X and the Y, and also a title. All right, draw a column graph to display the data. So from 0 to 9, we are at the frequency of 5. So let's do this. So we would go up here to 5, go over. Again, you don't have to put the 5 up on top there. It just makes it a little bit easier for those that are looking at it to make sure they're understanding it. So this one here is, what, 8? So we're just going to keep doing this the whole way through. Next one is also 8. And then we're all the way up to 14 for this interval. It does help that I've got something that'll help me draw straight lines. Next one is only up to 4. Oh, I'm going up that high. There we go. 4 for this one here. And again, the reason why these are separated is because there's not really any data between 9 and 10. So there's a little bit of a separation in there. And then the last one is just 1 here. Okay, so that's what our column graph is going to look like. Write down the modal class. The one that happens most often is 30 to 39. Right? And then what percentage of the streets contain at least 20? So that would be 20 or more. So that's going to be 8 plus 14 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, and that gives us, what, a total of 22, 23, 27 out of the total 40. So if we go through and calculate that, 27 divided by 40 gives us 67.5%. Okay, right, sorry, I just kind of jumped a step there. So once you divide it, you get 0.675, and to turn it into a percent, if you remember, you move the decimal over twice, which is multiplying by 100. That's why I turned 0.675 into 67.5%. Okay? All right, if you have any other questions on the 11E assignment, please feel free to ask. Thanks.